Good morning. It's Tuesday, January 9th, 2024. Welcome to the Village of Point Edward Fire Committee. Call the meeting to order. Ask if there's any declarations of pecuniary interest.
None known.
Okay, none here either. Prior meeting minutes were approved at a council meeting. Any questions related to those, Mary Ann?
No, not from me.
I was just wondering what the status is of the open burn information pamphlet.
So it's all ready to go. We just thought I was thinking spring now to send out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like early
It's all-
spring.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
That was my thinking anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, like even March type.
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
We'll start yard waste stuff. So,
Yeah,
okay. We have the task list. If you can walk us through that real quick.
Up here,
Do the fire master plan. And it's coming to budget.
Yeah.
Open air burning bylaw after. We already talked about that.
I'm going through the completed tasks. So the agreement for the truck has been signed and so, in a few years, we'll probably hear more about that, but the agreement has been signed and they're proceeding with that. And then the incomplete, the fire master plan. I don't know, are you gonna have something for budget for that or?
I'll have a number for you, budget, yeah,
So is this just like, have we done one before in the village?
yeah.
How many years ago was that?
Oh, God.
Would you- Or use the word decades versus years?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was quite a way,
Okay.
quite a long done, and it was just, everything that's been talked about in the village in the last, let's just say 2 years of possible development.
Mm-hmm,
I just thought it's a good time to maybe, but I mean, it's just talk,
mm-hmm.
so
Well-
but we'll get a number and then go from there.
Yep, sounds
the,
good.
the one apartment building's underway now. 6 floors.
The condos, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
And then the on-call thing for the fire chief, that hasn't been changed yet. I called once and the person to do it wasn't there. And they called just before Christmas and apparently I'm not. I can't do it, somebody else has to do it, so I have to call them back and find out who, they couldn't tell me who that person is, I don't. And-
Meaning you can't make a change?
Yeah.
but they don't know who
So,
can.
the person I was talking to didn't know who could,
Mhm.
so I will get on that tomorrow and
Probably Peggy.
do a follow, I
Yeah.
mean.
do something
It might
call
be just,
Yeah.
and I've made changes before,
Yeah.
so I don't know what's,
Well, regarding the false alarms, Derek told me at the arena, it was something at their end with some new hires.
right, that issue. With new hires to the
Yeah.
alarm company.
Yeah, and maybe that's what the problem you're running into is,
Could be.
that they just didn't know what they were doing and training thing at their end, so. Okay,
Yeah, but that's not where the problem was. The problem is people aren't answering their phones and I'm the next guy on the list that I'm getting every call.
yeah, yeah,
That's where the problem is.
Yeah. and so,
And to add, sorry, Greg, just to add to that. I got called, told Jim before Christmas sometime, again for the alarm system. And they're looking for direction because it has to have its annual test and certification. And the person I told them, I said, no, you got the wrong person to talk to. And then they're looking for Emron, so it's way behind and everything, so.
does it not make sense for the alarm on call to be the public works on call person?
Well,
Because they're paid to answer their phone. Yeah, it's gonna cost us 4 hours if they go out, but. And then Damar just calls one number. Presses 2, gets the person. And
the only problem with that is depending on who's on call, like if it was Mike or Corey, they could probably deal with it, but the other two can't. Like Steve and Derek. Depending on what the issue is at the arena, they don't know anything about running the arena.
but neither does the chief.
Oh.
Well, you know more than some, but I mean,
A fair little bit
Yeah.
about Bill.
Obviously, they call them.
yeah,
But
but we could again, you're just doing a basic alarm response. Like, you don't have to. you're going to see what the alarm is.
And I'm not sure, like, I don't think Derek and Steve would know, like, they would know anything more about it than I would.
Right.
If, like, there was an issue there on Christmas Day last year.
Yeah.
I got, like, they called Derek, he didn't answer, they called Imran, he didn't answer, so they called me. Like, well, I don't know what to do, but I'm on my way. By the time I got there, the other two were there and the issue was dealt with. But I wouldn't have had a clue what to do. I was just going to, do whatever I could to help.
Well,
And,
the person's going to unlock the doors, turn the lights on, identify the problem, and then call the appropriate people. You're not going to initiate repairs as the calling person from the village. You're just there to start the,
most likely it'd be resetting the alarm, right? That's kind of the.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta understand, even to turn on the lights, you don't just turn on the light switch at the arena.
Yeah.
yeah, Yeah.
You don't know why.
There's
the
a lot
alarm's
more
going.
to
Yeah.
it than what you think.
Yeah.
And then you need to know the access, and then you're jeopardizing your own safety because you're going in somewhere where you may be walking into something that you shouldn't be. So you do need to know, you need knowledge of that arena,
yeah.
guarantee you do.
But we can do orientation, can we? I'm just trying to get it
Yeah,
get it off your shoulder and
Well, you
onto,
see in the manager is what you, where it's in that process, right? So
Yeah.
we're in this lull right now, but I don't know,
but that manager can't be 365 on call for that, can they?
I am.
I know. That's what that's what I think we should try and alleviate is if it's the public works on call person, it rotates weekly amongst a whole bunch of people. I don't know, I'm just throwing it out there as a suggestion.
Mhm. Okay, well, we can look into it and see.
And
what's-
even
Or-
if you create a orientation session and you create a binder with like the SOP. When you respond to the arena, here's the steps you take.
Mhm.
It could be fairly,
And if they can't deal with it, then they call the manager, so he.
But they're calling me, like even the
No,
guys.
I
that
meant
call- but-
down the road,
Yeah, but right now they're even calling me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Guys are calling me, I got a lot of alarm, what do I do? And, and some don't know everything
yeah,
about it.
yeah,
So it's just, once it's a fire alarm, we're coming anyways.
Yes.
But if it's an alarm, then there's a lot to learn over there. And it's
Mhm.
not, and it's not as if it's happening enough that someone can good at it.
that's right, yeah.
So that is, if it's once a year for that one person, let's just pick Frank and for one of the
Yeah.
guys, and Frank says, you know what, this hasn't gone up in 2 years for me, I'm
Yeah.
not 100% sure of
Yeah.
everything, and they're looking for help or support. So it's just,
And things could have changed in those 2 years, right? You might have done it
oh,
once
absolutely,
and then we changed it.
sure.
We've,
yeah, like we had the problem with the compressor, we had the problems with the alarm, we've had problems with sprinklers, we've had all different types of problems over there. And, yeah, it's, I guess and then if it's Derek. I mean, most times we try to get a hold of Derek, but sometimes Derek's not answering his phone, he's wherever, or, who knows
Mhm.
what, but. Whether someone is told that if you're not gonna be around, someone else has gotta take that.
Yeah.
Number, I don't know, but it's just,
and we could get caught up here where we have an alarm and then nobody's available. Right.
yes, yes.
You could be camping and
Yep.
whoever,
Yep.
they finally call somebody and they don't know what's going on
Yeah.
over there, right? And
Yeah.
then we end up with some issues, so. Okay, so we've thrown some ideas out there. I guess it's up to figure out what we want to do. Okay,
That was everything on the task list.
all right. So we'll move on to the health and safety inspection. Nothing of any,
No issues.
The only one that's on there is the lip going in. There's a lip about an inch or an inch and a quarter,
Oh, yeah.
pretty much all along the overhead doors at the front of the building.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of instances at the Christmas in the village where a couple of people, I don't think they actually fell, but they kind of tripped over it.
Mhm, sorry about that.
So the chief is getting some prices. From a contractor to get that, to replace the concrete in front. Right? That's-
Well, I've got 3 options here, I've already got them.
Okay. So those will be on the capital budget, but we also wonder, about
So to just give you an update on it, so there is obviously a lip there, we've known about it, talked
Yeah.
about it previously, that we know our cement is dropping at the front. As the cement drops, each time it drops, it's getting worse because the impact of the truck going out.
Right,
So for right now, I'm gonna paint that edge. It's not gonna be the best look, but we're gonna paint that edge so it's high vis so people can see it in case the door is open. So it'll protect us for a little while. I contacted Clean Creek Cutting. Wow.
Say that three
Twister.
times.
He's the guy that does the village, the shaving of the sidewalks that puts the bevel on the edge.
Yeah,
So that was one option, and it was $1,000 to go in and grind it down to match the cement. So that was the first option. That's kind of a quick fix, but that's not the answer because now we've damaged the main floor of the
Yeah.
hall. Now to get fix the other one, now we've already damaged it, so it was just one option.
and it's
So-
gonna keep sinking.
It's keep
Yeah,
sinking,
yeah.
yeah. So I had Concrete Systems come in and give a quote, and they quoted $7,000 to replace from the saw cut, which is approximately 10 feet away from the door to the door, and they would do it in two sections, obviously, for obvious reasons. The truck's still gonna be able to respond, and it was $7,000 to do that. And that's full replacement, 6 inches of cement with rebar for reinforcement, understanding the weight of the trucks coming out. So I was just two there. He did talk about pumping a slurry in there to raise the cement. And to me, that's no different than doing the shaving of the cement. All it is a Band-Aid. I will be recommending, in capital that we look at doing replacement in the spring of the cement.
Will they inspect the base and make any repairs to the base? Like, let's say there's been some erosion, underwater erosion or like that, or?
I would think so. I would think they'd put some new fill in there,
Yeah.
I would think. right?
That's why it's good to
Yeah.
pull it, because you're gonna see what's
Yeah.
causing the sink, right?
I just think it's like anything, right?
Yeah.
You go up the highway and you get that little bump.
Yeah.
Every year that bump gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, and that's the same idea as the trucks. Every
Yeah.
time they come out, that drop that goes
Yeah.
down,
At least we know it's compacted pretty good.
it should be squashed down pretty good, yeah. So I've done 3 that I thought that would be, and like I said, the $1,000 shave, yeah, I can do a repair, but that's gonna cost us more in the future, so I figured we should just. And that cement's been here quite some time.
Price doesn't seem that,
I don't think it's that bad, myself personally, yeah.
after,
That's just one
after getting
quote.
price on sidewalks. Remember last year we put in a couple sidewalks and it was,
Yeah,
Yeah, I was,
So, but these ones here, I'll leave these with you anyways, Jim, because they're just the first quotes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But still gives us an idea what we would be looking at
Yeah.
for capital, but as I said, I'll recommend to do the full replacement of it for. in the-
spend 1,000 and then 6 months later, you're gonna spend 7.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll spend
and,
more.
and then you'll have that lip
Yeah.
and then up again, right?
Yeah.
So. So. But it's neat, glad you checked as an option. It's.
Yeah.
All right, so any questions then on that?
No.
Marianne? Okay, we'll move on to the monthly report for November and December.
Okay, so community relations, staff attended the Point Everett annual Remembrance Day parade. Fire hall was used for Christmas in the village. Staff serves the hot chocolate cookies. Appreciate all the time that people put in to be there. Staff attended the Sarnia Christmas parade with the golf cart and 39 Ford. Collected presents for the annual toy drive, great success again. Inspections, casino had their fire inspection, it's completed. Everything was good there, some minor deficiencies that had to be cleaned up, but very minor. Doing the tours of the village, Bridge Marina, they had had boats blocking the fire hydrants, so had Claudia rate them up. Boats were removed from the hydrant. They have given us an update of people that are there. Our last fire we had on the water there was a boat caught fire where people were on it. Mr. Brown was indicating to us that they were not going to be anybody else on the water anymore. They're still there. There's, I believe, what was it, guys, 7 or 9 people that are still in the water. So we've got numbers, contacts, all the information.
And there's also people living on the land too, right?
Yes,
And a couple people from my dock that's their new year-round residence.
yeah.
He scatters them around the middle building,
Mhm.
apparently, because there's a laundry and a washroom in that
Yeah,
building.
yeah.
You mean that they're in a trailer or something?
No, they're
They're in their boat?
yeah, living in their sailboat. One couple are living in their
Yeah.
sailboat.
And, yeah, that was that. Community emergency management, Claudio.
Yeah, so during that period was when provincial EM grant process was in place and then finalized, so the grant submission was submitted, and we expect to hear some end of this month or early February, whether or not it's approved or not. So I'll keep you updated on that. End of the year client submission as usual was done. Couple incidents happened over that time period. One of them was that incident at the Peace Bridge in Niagara Falls, so there was some EM activity on the early stages of that, and weren't sure what was happening. Just discussing possibilities of them closing this bridge, and then it turned out to be not what they thought. And then the mayor and I met with some of the executives from bases to discuss their transition, the plan, and how we fit in on that. So there's still more to come with that, and we're looking forward to seeing what that brings as far as our municipal involvement with bases as a new organization. So more to come on that too.
Great, thank you. For various partner agencies, nothing to report at this time. Facility update. Lights and ceiling tiles have been replaced on the second floor of the library. That's been, fixed those up. Everything's good there. We do have another box of tiles that I have to pick up today. They called me today that they're in. So I'll have tiles that are available if more have to be done. Fire hall, everything's operational as far as there's no water coming through the ceiling anyways, or through the roof, so that's good. Talked about the concrete pad, vehicles rescue. Had its safety inspection, engines done, ladders done, everything's good there. Also, it's not on there. We've got our air packs, they've done their annual too, and they're completed, so it's good. Health and safety, we completed our inspections, staff completed the required training for the months of November, December, and did our committee meetings. Security, no problems there. Capital, working on cleaning up the budget from last year, this year, trying to get everything ready for 2024. Thank you cards from Bridgeview School, Blue Water Health, Sanders Responders, and thank you from St. Clair Child and Youth. Upcoming events, annual Lambton County Fire Trade Show at the college will be happening. Got a couple speakers that some of our people may go and hear, see what they have to say. There's your SCBA's, and then annual medical training will be starting for the month of January. This year, we're gonna be doing some stuff in-house. Normally I have somebody come in outside, third party. We're gonna try to do it in-house for this year, because your certification is good for 3 years. Closing comments, approval was given, received with our truck. I did receive an email from Bertrand, sales manager of 1200 Degrees. He's planning on coming down in March to go over our final spec to get signed off on it. Basically, we have probably 3 sets of specs that we've gone through, so we want to make sure we got everything 100%. But the truck has been placed in the calendar for delivery. They came in and did the repair on the awning on our rescue truck at no charge. They were supposed, the warranty was up, but they did fix it, put a new motor in it. And Bearcom has been in to do some programming of our radios due to some of the changes that's been done in the county. Consulted with the Bridgeview Marina staff regarding the diesel spill from a boat that was cleaned up by a third party company. And year end, pays were completed. Worked out to 38.68 per point. I will be coming to, not at this time, but we'll do it through committee, through council. That was time for us to look at where everybody is in the county, to kind of have an idea what everyone's doing. Make sure we're in line with everybody else. What do we have, Rick? Maybe 5 now? 5 different ones that we can kind of talk a little bit about. Extremely difficult to understand because some of them pay a stipend, some pay a honorarium, and then per hour, for training, for everything's different. Instructed our people that I will talk to council. I do not want to change our system because I don't want to make it more difficult, but I just want to make sure we're in line with everybody else and we're being fair and
Mhm.
and just keeps us all where we need to be.
How many points does somebody get for a fire call?
One,
One, okay.
unless they're there for
Extended,
length
okay.
of time, then we'll
right.
go
And
2,
training's 1 point?
1 point.
Okay.
Again, unless they're there all day, like when they go to calls and we double them up.
Right, okay, right.
So everything's kind of just, they trust, right?
Right, yeah,
Try to be fair, no different than if I asked someone to be there for, when we had the event from the storm, they get paid per hour. But we don't have anything in stone.
right,
I kind of just, whatever I think is what I present,
Yep.
and then if it works, great. And I ask everybody monthly, if anyone has any concerns, comments, complaints, bring them forward and I'll act on them. I'm out for their best interest by all means,
mhm,
and I said I'll bring that to council, but we
Yep.
just want to make sure we're
Yep.
we're in line.
Yeah.
The big thing is we know that if we're gonna be having people have to get certified, we have to pay them. No different when the guys had to do the pump course.
mhm.
And it was the same thing. I looked at other people, tried to come up with a number to be fair and work it out.
Yep.
There are some people that are got the number they're using exactly, but every department's a little bit, it's got some uniqueness to
Yeah,
it, so,
yeah,
and I think we do too, so.
Yep.
But as long as we're being fair, and like I said, if someone tells me that we're not, then I'll act on it, but. So we just want to stay in the groove. of
Yep,
things.
yeah, no, it makes sense. It makes sense to review it just regularly, yeah.
I don't have this on your sheet, but I just wanted to let you know a couple things that I'm going to be going forward with. We're gonna be looking for a water rescue course. It's been a long time since we've done a course here for the village. And we do our training, obviously, but we got a lot of new people. So I'm gonna be getting some pricing for a water rescue course to be put on. So it's called like a Swift Water course that a couple of our guys have done. I know it's gonna be pricey to have done, but we have to decide. Once the time comes, we'll get the numbers that we're either in it or we're out of it. If we're gonna be in it, we have to be.
And do they do that here or do they go to like the
Here.
Ottawa River?
I'll be going for here.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So I know some of them, they go to a
Yeah,
true
Yeah.
swift water location.
which I want to train where we have. to
Exactly,
respond.
makes, yeah, makes
Yeah.
sense.
That makes the best
Yeah.
sense.
So I'll be coming forward with that in the near future, so we're ready for the spring. I talked about the pays that we're looking at, just getting it, make sure we're where we gotta be. And as Jim's aware, I've sent an email that Rick and I will be on 4-day weeks to try to burn some of our time up that we've accumulated over the years. So we'll be back and forth on who takes a day of during the
Like
week.
Starting now, you mean like
Starting
January?
This week, yeah.
Well, are you gonna take the second Tuesday of every month?
Yeah. So we'll just see how that goes and we can already see already just things are just coming and you try to plan and oh, now I can't do it that day and it's just, but we're gonna work on it. You have it in writing, so we will work on it. Now I will force Mr. McGregor to be having some time at home. Or he might hang curtains on the side or something. You don't wanna do that.
Hire out as a handyman?
We can go have a coffee or something, like
And
a retirees club.
that's about all I got there. We had a call yesterday. I'm gonna ask Rick to talk a little bit about it. about, our medical response. Our calls have dropped off the edge of the earth. That's what we respond to, but
Like from a medical
Yeah,
standpoint, yeah.
yeah. So, Rick received a call yesterday. I'll let you move on forward with that, Rick.
It was actually in the form of a text, but, this is the second time that happened.
Swing the mic
We've got,
to pick him up.
a
Thank you.
text that came from the special needs program director at Bridgeview, saying that they had called 911 for one of their children who was in seizure and that we didn't get notified. So the first time it happened, we ended up responding, we self-dispatched to go help. This time, we didn't get notified until it was too late, but she had some concerns that the fire wasn't being dispatched to service their needs. So, then pass it along to the chief, and it really depends on how the call came in and what kind of verbiage they used on the 911 dispatch and that.
Mhm.
But she was concerned that she's got a child in seizure for an extended period of time, and she was looking for some assistance, and we've always been dispatched to the school to help.
Yep,
The last couple of instances in the special needs room, we hadn't dispatched. She was concerned.
So after hearing the comments, I mean, last time we were there doing this call, because they called on the phone and we just went there. I've instructed them to notify you, council and mayor, of their concerns. I appreciate the information, give it to me, but people need to step up and go to the next stop, because I can only change what. It's just, it is frustrating, but we went over this years and years and years of how it works, so.
should we,
But they just redid the list. I mean, that issue got all settled last year, right?
to an extent,
No, it did get, it got,
Well, I thought everybody, like it was all, everybody was in agreement to it in the county.
for that part of it, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I don't know how this falls in that list of criteria.
they're still not letting Sarnia Dispatch make the call whether we're supposed to respond. They're still waiting for CAC to tell them that we
Okay.
can respond. It's wrong, 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 wrong. Our dispatchers in Sarnia should make the decision whether they feel that the fire department needs to respond to what they heard on the radio.
Mhm.
They're told to get off the radio immediately and send it to CAC. CAC takes the message. They decide whether we're gonna send it, then it's called Sarnia, and then Sarnia's gotta call us. They just wasted 5 minutes of people's life.
so Sergeant Dispatch doesn't stay on the line
No.
when they transfer to Wallaceburg.
No,
Oh, I thought that was the practice always.
no,
Oh, used to be,
Used
was
to
it?
be.
Yeah, now it's like, drop the call, give it to us
yes,
and move on with your,
Yes.
yeah, that's not right. Cause
So
when,
it is.
before, when they would be on the call, they could just, the Wallaceburg would say, yeah, send fire, like.
Yeah.
In a
Well,
second,
They're familiar with the area and resources. That's why it would make sense.
yeah,
well, they're trained professional people that are taking the calls.
Mhm.
And if they listen and they find out that they feel the fire should be going, knowing Point Edward is a small area. I mean, the last few medical calls that we've got in the middle of the night, the people are already in the back of the ambulance.
because it's taking so long to get us on the road.
Yeah, like, we gotta be told, we gotta
Mhm.
get there, we gotta respond,
Mhm.
and it's just like 3 a.m. You know, like, what a waste, what a waste. So, anyways, it's just like I said, they have some concerns, I understand, it scares anybody that's gonna see anybody go into a seizure activity, it's gonna scare anybody to see anybody go unconscious. And all they want is support, they
Yeah.
want somebody there to be there to help
This
get
scares
them through.
Yeah, scares those other
I
children.
don't have a problem doing it,
Yeah.
but I do have a problem with it getting cold and we're not being used at all. Now I got everybody coming to the fire hall in the middle of the night. And basically they turn around and go home. They don't even get out, you don't even get out of the vehicle.
Yeah.
They're just going, we're good. So anyways, in case you get something, it may come across to you, so I don't know what it will, but that's what I've instructed people to do. You have a concern, you bring it to council, make sure everyone's know about it.
Well, should we reach out to the school? Cause I'm thinking, or do we
It's not
send it?
School, I think you have to address phone issue. of
But
the
it- no,
call-
no,
the
have
way
the
they
s-
call
No,
out.
have the school tell us that they have a concern.
Well, they've
Officially,
been
Well, they
told that.
have.
yeah, yeah,
Doug told them that already.
yeah, but then
Yeah.
Doug told them to talk to us.
Right,
So if they don't talk to us, should we be getting something from them? Should we be writing a letter is what I'm trying to get at to,
to the school.
no, to EMS on behalf of the school. But I think we need to hear from them officially that they have a concern
Yeah,
before we
that's
write a letter, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like everything, the day that happened, they were probably all hyped up and wanted something
And then-
done.
Then it's.
A week later,
Yeah.
they moved on, and so should we ask them, say, we understand you have a concern, if you wanna write us something, we'll do some follow-up. And did you beat the ambulance there when they called you direct, or,
The first time, yeah.
yeah, cause that's what a lot of people forget is how far,
Yesterday,
yeah, but how far the ambulances are away from us at times too, right?
But they called us by phone, on cell phones, and say, we got this. And then Rick called me and said, we got this, then we went over there. That's not how it works.
No.
It's gotta go through a system.
Yes.
So everything's recorded,
Yeah.
everything's being done by protocol.
Yeah.
We went and it worked out fine, but that person at that time, their SpO2 level was very low and it was scary.
Mhm.
And everybody was scared there.
Yeah.
That call is the call that when the medics did arrive, they didn't even get that call. They didn't even get what that patient was. Came in as an elderly,
80-year-old.
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
So
Yeah.
it's just, there's a
Eight-year-old.
lack of communications and in our world, we want to make sure if we can help, we definitely want to try to. And
And as you
it's
know,
disturbing.
in those instances, just seeing a uniform
Yeah.
often calms people down,
Mhm.
right? It's the presence of a trained professional responder brings everybody's anxiety down. So that's half of what
Yeah.
we're doing here. Yeah, like you're there to provide care, but also just get the situation calmed down because it's so stressful.
So Doug, what would happen if village decided to write a letter? To whom should it go to? And if we ask them any call that ever comes into Bridgeview School, dispatch fire immediately, would they do it?
Not necessarily,
No.
Jim. Unfortunately, most of the board are directors for the health,
Like Lynn or whatever it is, they're
yeah, they,
CTAC.
Base hospital.
when we've had all these discussions, the EMS is saying, it's a waste to send fire to these calls. We have stats here, da, 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 da. We've talked about this so many
Yes,
times.
yeah,
Personally, I don't. No one tell me what I do, like,
Mhm.
not saying council, but you don't tell us what we do.
Right.
We'll tell you what we want to do and we'll provide whatever service we want to our community. Just please do it. Pay for dispatching. Send them.
Yeah.
But it's not that easy.
Mhm.
It's just not that easy. So,
and the reality is during school hours, we're able to respond very quickly.
mhm,
Like the 3 a.m. one, yeah, there's delays, but if the school calls
Yeah,
at,
right,
at 10:30 in the morning, odds are somebody's going over in the command truck right away.
Yeah.
And it's gonna beat any ambulance there
Yeah.
if we're dispatched
Yeah.
at the time of the
Yeah.
call, right? So that's what we sort of need to put in a letter is that during school hours, we have immediate response and can,
Mhm.
and
I mean, I'll get you a name, Jim, of a person who's at the top now with EMS World and maybe. If you can get
Is that
this
Steven?
information from Bridgeview School or whoever, say they have concern, that we need some clarification on this or something, maybe.
Is that
Just start
Stephen
there.
Thompson?
I can't
There's-
tell you right now, I don't have it, because
Oh,
they've
but-
moved around so much, I don't know who's what's who. And we have no relations now with anybody now,
Yeah.
compared to what we used to, I mean, everybody knew everybody.
yeah.
That's
yeah.
gone,
Well, I think he attends the council meetings, so
Yeah. yeah, don't know,
he replaced
Okay,
Jeff. yeah.
Jeff.
so should we add that to the task list and see where we
Yeah.
end up?
Yeah.
And,
I'll start it by contacting the principal of the school.
yeah,
And she's new too, so I'm not sure how much she knows about past history. Sarah
Yeah.
does, the special needs teacher. She's been there forever, but
yeah,
the principal's new.
So Bridgeview's issues are compounded because they have a phone system like ours.
right.
So it doesn't go to Sarnia Dispatch, it goes to North Bay or Thunder Bay, and
Oh,
they send to CAC, so Sarnia Dispatch is not even
in the loop on that.
in the loop on that. Based on their phone system, so.
I think they're supposed to put a dedicated line
Okay.
I don't know if that's.
like an actual bell line with Annie Alley on it.
I don't know
Now,
if they
these-
actually did that, they talked about doing. it.
Yeah. They use their cell phones and that would.
Yeah.
Relieve that issue, but.
Yeah, cell phone would get,
Yeah.
cell phone get in the right call center, and then, as you said, often it's the verbiage, right? Like as to how far a call gets tiered is what symptoms you say, so.
Yeah, 'cause I think that one didn't go to the States too.
The first one where we identified that there was, that they were using the VoIP system, it got bounced all over the couple of different call centers. This one here, she didn't talk about that issue, she just said that they had been dispatched with a child that since been transported, and she just wanted to express her concern. That he was
Yeah. Okay. Because like, as you say, those minutes matter, right?
Well, my thing is that no matter who it is, Greg, you call 911,
Mm-hmm,
you say send fire,
mm-hmm,
because of medical emergency, you want fire. And they say, no, we're putting you through the EMS. To me, that's not.
Yeah.
We're not getting the service that you're asking.
yeah, yeah,
Someone's, and there could be people saying, I don't want the fire department.
Yep.
there. Okay, that's fine.
yeah,
No problem. But if somebody does, goodness sakes, please send them.
yeah, yeah,
They're asking for a reason, and it
Yeah.
could be simply because they know they're right across the street from the fire. department.
exactly, yeah. But
Whatever.
the
Yeah.
person in Wallaceburg has no idea.
That's
Yeah,
right.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, in some instances, you guys could run across the
That's
street
right.
and be there in seconds.
Walk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
swiftly walk. They just threw that run word around uselessly. Okay, any other questions then on the monthly report, Mary Ann? Okay. Next item is fireworks bylaw.
So again, this just referred to the committee by council and looking for some direction on how you want us to proceed with this. If you want us to proceed preparing a bylaw that's a full ban. Where you'd like to see that go.
first. I'm not in favor of a full ban. I'm in favor of the limited. I believe Sarnia has limited to certain holidays. And that's, I would prefer to see it go that way than a total ban. But that's just my own opinion.
So I was hoping we'd have like a report on why we're going down this road of this, like I know Councilor Mondi mentioned he had a complaint. What's driving it and what the implications are and what's being recommended by staff, so. I see we have two bylaws here.
Yeah, there's two examples there. I believe one of them is a full outright ban.
Yeah,
Um,
but what is, you have a recommendation on this or?
Not a recommendation as much as just, I mean, I read our bylaw, it's extremely difficult to understand, it was done a long time ago.
Mhm,
Personally, I don't understand why people have to be lighting fireworks off in their backyards when there's enough events that they have where they're controlled between the yacht club, between Sarnia Bay, wherever. My fear is that, one of these times, someone's gonna, and you know what, there are people that are responsible and trying to light them off
Yep.
properly, there is,
Yep.
but there's a lot of people that are not.
Mhm.
And one of these times, something's gonna go bad. And it's too late.
And so, yeah,
That's gotta be thought about big time, and you know, what, you hate taking away from people enjoying Chris or Canada Day or whatever it may
Right.
be.
May
But
2,
my
4,
thing
yep.
is that there's professional people lighting them and I mean, they're getting fired off. You know, you have residents that have casings in their backyard from their neighbors firing them off. That is scary, for everything that's going on today and dry times and look what we're going through for weather. It's gotta be really thought about hard,
and then the other part that I think we need more information on is enforcement.
mhm.
yes.
So on May 2, 4, are we gonna have firefighters driving around looking for fireworks and issuing tickets? Because if we don't, then, or
But you won't.
police, yeah, we won't, and then OPP won't be driving around looking for it, so putting this total ban in would be lovely on paper, but if it's not enforced, then we might as well.
Well, that's why I would prefer to go to the specific holidays, but I'm looking for, and Doug lives in my neighborhood, like. there's nights that the firecrackers are going off like up till midnight.
Mhm.
Like there's no, they're not paying, I don't know, somebody around me. At several nights in a row and way past 11 o'clock. I don't know, sometimes it's from the yacht club. And they can't, that's people going down and using their beach. I'm not saying it's sanctioned, they're just doing it. Or it's some of it's coming from the cove.
And sadly, our bylaw wouldn't affect either one of
No,
those locations.
No,
I mean, the other thing is too, is you see what happened when you went to the open burn, for how long it took and what kind of chaos it started with the village.
Mhm.
Maybe it's time to talk to the public and have some more stats and more information on it, because unfortunately, you're gonna see more of them. Because there's other people that are lighting them for other events, and who's gonna say, you can do it this day, and they're gonna say, well, how come I can't do it on this day, cause this is a special day for us, or whoever.
Yeah, right.
Okay, now how are we gonna control that? And then at the end of the day, okay, this is getting out of hand. Why? Like, why? They're set off in so many different areas now. You figure between the United States
Yes.
and us.
Yeah.
There's lots for kids to enjoy.
Mhm.
There's lots.
you don't need it in your yard.
No, houses are getting closer, houses are
Yeah.
getting bigger, they're
Yeah.
more combustibles. Yeah, I don't,
And like in Sarnia,
hold on.
Chief Van Gaber had to pass a resolution that Diwali
Yeah.
was allowed because it's not in their bylaw.
Mm.
I assume they're changing their bylaw, but like as you say, what's the next holiday? Like Leslie's 60th is coming up.
Oh, you just announced that to everyone.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
her 50th. Her 60th in 10 years, and I'd like to light fireworks
yeah.
off of that, right? So do I have to get special permission and to do that?
And it's the same thing, that
Did I
you're
recover
gonna, you
what-
give people the permission to do it, then who's gonna police it, that they're doing it right?
Yeah.
Who's got, put in sand, who's made sure that the wind direction's right, who's gonna, there's no one that's gonna do that.
No,
So either you're gonna say, we're gonna ban them, or it's gonna be another major job for somebody to
Yeah, I mean,
police it when it's done.
banning it is the
easy.
easy way to do it. Enforcing the ban is, we're gonna,
Yeah.
like, that's gonna be extremely difficult to do, cause, you know, kids are gonna light them off on the path and take
Yeah.
off, and by the time somebody responds, they're gonna be long gone. If somebody's doing it in their backyard, that might be, you know, if Rick's gonna start setting off fireworks in his backyard, and we get 3 neighbors calls and
Yeah.
say Rick sent
You
off
should be able to catch
fireworks,
them.
he's
Yeah.
gonna get fined for it. That's
Right.
pretty
Yeah.
straightforward, but the people walking down the street letting off firecrackers, like, there's no way we're gonna catch those
Yeah.
people. Unless,
And I've seen that on the trail.
yeah,
I've seen kids
Yeah.
throwing them, but
so,
Enforcement's difficult, anyway.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because Even
Yeah.
even if I am lighting fireworks off in my backyard, by the time you get them, you know, in my house,
Mhm.
then
we've got witnesses.
if you have witnesses.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw fireworks going off up in the air, you think it came from my yard,
Prove
unless
it.
yeah.
You have to prove this in
You have to
court,
prove it.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
So a step back to the original question is, do we want a total ban or do we want a partial ban? Should we be polling? As we did with fire, like a survey? I know, I hate to do that,
Um,
but
There are people lighting fireworks off in the village that are very irresponsible with how they.
Mhm. And on village property, last year for the first year, somebody was in McCray Park using the sand by the swings to light off fireworks. So they had sand, but it was 20 feet from my house and leaving all their garbage, right? So, you know, and they're using a village land to light up fireworks, which is wrong too, so.
it's just a matter of catching those people, and
You figure you get a group that wants to go light them down at the water park, like
Yeah.
in that area.
yeah,
Cause it's whatever day it is for whoever. You want that? I definitely don't want it.
go back to the days where we collect and that collect by the,
Yeah.
by the fire department and then we do the McCray Park light off.
Yeah.
We just collect money and
Yeah.
do it in the park. That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But everybody came out and watched
Yeah.
collectively.
I just think there's lots of them being lit so many different times.
Yeah,
There's more than enough time for people to take their kids and let them enjoy it and.
So you mentioned the survey. Richard Dawson, do you want to do it?
well, do you want to arbitrarily make a decision, or do you want to try and get some opinion on where people want to go? I don't know, you're not gonna get agreement, so,
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get the comments about the village, was the village trying to.
trying to control every aspect of
something
my life,
else and,
right? Yes,
And the fun police.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that, but and then you're gonna get people that, yes, this is a problem and we absolutely should ban them and.
And-
You're gonna get extreme comments both ways.
yeah, and the people with
But-
the animals that don't want,
Yep.
it's hard on the dogs and.
Just a suggestion, why didn't put the yays and nays on the list? Why it's good, why
The
it's
pros
bad.
and cons,
Yeah.
I mean,
If you got a list that's that long, that's bad. You got a list that's good. It gives you some teeth.
So how about we table it for the next
Yeah,
committee meeting?
yeah.
And if you can bring us. It's just a one pager on. The concerns about enforcement, the concern and the
Mhm.
pros and cons of fireworks, and then. Maybe what some other municipalities are doing, and I think we should look at similar size municipalities rather than our neighbor and what they've done. And
The only reason I mentioned the neighbor, and I don't always want to be aligned with them, but in something like that. If they're lighting crackers, or they're lighting firecrackers off on certain holidays,
mhm,
I'd rather we were aligned.
yeah, because the media are gonna talk about. May 2 for Sarnia is allowing
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
And if we're
But
totally
don't cross the
different,
border.
yeah, but don't, yeah,
That's why we're independent.
independent, I was just
yeah.
gonna say that, yeah. Okay,
Okay, more to come.
so is that,
And then the other thing is, Jim, what about putting it in the newsletter that we're reviewing?
Oh,
The
Oh, perfect
bylaw,
idea,
we're
yeah.
looking at for an update of changing possibly so that if there is an interest of the public, they have a chance to speak.
yeah, let
Yeah,
the email,
that's a good idea,
email us now.
especially since she's preparing.
And say it's
Looking-
coming up at the February committee meeting for discussion, if people have comments, to email them.
When's the newsletter going out?
probably within the next week. I
So
think
in
she's
this
been
month,
working on it.
okay, then that works.
Yeah, and say that we'd look for comments at our February committee meeting.
Yeah. To review.
And then you can, that one page you can include. If we received 38 emails or whatever, and we can get this, okay? So the recommendation, we table it to the next meeting.
Yes,
Capital budget,
So there's just a request, I mean. Managers have been working on capital items already, but more for. You guys, if there's something you'd like to see in the capital considered by the department or by the fire department for.
but I sent an email last year, you got that,
Yeah,
right? Okay,
yeah.
I had nothing on the fire
Um,
department, so.
and the other thing to confirm is we set the date for the
Yep.
budget,
Yeah, March
24th, it's a Thursday. 21st, sorry, 21st, Thursday. We had it written in as a placeholder and then now that's confirmed. So I thought we'd tell everybody today to make sure it's in their calendars.
9 AM start,
Yeah,
and was there anything, Mary Ann, for fire that you thought?
No,
No, okay, but anyways, we'll just send it by email then.
Yeah.
Okay. Financial statements. Very that's the year end, was there anything there that? So
it's pretty good, actually,
Yeah.
for a year end.
typically is on the fire side.
Yes, it's very careful. Except when it comes to equipment purchases.
I'm still pretty careful.
Yeah, right. but a big ticket item.
More to come.
Yeah,
But coming in under budget with the changes in pricing of everything in the world today is because is a real
Or some,
accomplishment.
some of it is that it can't get delivery.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
right, Rick?
Actually, We were lucky on the bunker gear that we've been fighting with.
Yeah.
We switched to a different manufacturer and they overperformed on the delivery. So we weren't supposed to get it until 2024 and it actually arrived
Wow,
in 2023.
wow, yeah, that's a turnaround.
Did they tell you or did it just arrive at the door? Nice.
Hmm.
It's scheduled for February. for sure.
Wow.
Nice.
The bill can come in February.
Yeah.
But the bill came right away.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was good to see because they had identified a problem. And they opened up a second factory at Quebec.
Yeah.
This is stuff's manufactured in Quebec. You know, they opened up a second line and because it's a problem everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
No, that's
Their
good.
biggest problem is the materials. They're still that they with the material a little bit, but.
Mhm.
Wow, that's a-
Overperforming
That's a good story.
on the fronts.
Would they switch to cotton? Is that what they've done?
Yeah. It's not fibrosis.
Polyester. Okay, any other new business, Mayor Hand, at all?
No.
For this committee? Nope. Chief, nothing? Gallery? No, okay. Our next meeting date will be,
Sorry, I just thought of something. We didn't have a council meeting since Christmas in the Village, right? I
Correct.
mean, yeah, so again, I wanted to thank everyone for the work that was done at the fire hall and the parade. Like, it was great this year. We had more participation in the parade because we had the 2 vehicles, so that worked well.
Mhm.
Like, we had more involvement, I thought. It was a good night too, because the weather was not bad. And then there was big turnout at the fire hall, so people are, like, little kids especially are so excited to go there and see all this equipment and get their hot chocolate and everything. That was good. And a good turnout of your volunteers that like to come out to that and promote it. I appreciate it.
yeah, it went really well. The
Yeah.
Parade.
It's 17 members at Christmas in the Village.
Yeah. That's better than half, so,
And there was times in the fire hall where we couldn't move.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
So it was definitely low.
yeah, it's the highlight of Christmas in the Village. Yeah. Okay, our next meeting is Tuesday, February the 13th at 8:30 AM. And a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, and we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.